Good afternoon. Welcome to WKUR, your country road, 94.9. We have a special guest in the studio with us today. He's the current agricultural commissioner and a candidate for Kentucky governor, Mr. James Conner. Welcome in the studio, and thanks for coming in.
Well, it's great to be here. I appreciate you having me.
Oh, we appreciate having you, and you're just doing a lot of amazing things, and with the campaign trail as well. And we're going to jump right into here, and we're going to talk about Kentucky Proud first. We hear that term a lot used in the news, and some people are still not quite sure what it is or confused about it. Just go ahead and give us a quick recap of what Kentucky Proud is and what it does and how it helps Kentuckians.
Well, Kentucky Proud is the major branding initiative for Kentucky agriculture. When you see the Kentucky Proud logo, that means the product that logo's on was produced or manufactured in Kentucky by a Kentucky farm family or a Kentucky small business. Okay. And when you buy something that's Kentucky Proud, you're keeping your dollars in Kentucky, which is helping the local economy. It's helping to create jobs, and it's helping family farmers, because most of the ingredients for those Kentucky Proud products are right off Kentucky farms, which are mostly small farms.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also better food as well. There's not, because when you transport food, you have to put all that stuff in it to keep it fresh or whatever.
That's
right.
And
it's just right from the farm here. Well, and how has your office and you incorporated Kentucky Proud into the holiday season or Christmas?
Right. Well, we're trying to encourage people to spend a portion of their Christmas budget on Kentucky Proud. We have lots of Kentucky Proud businesses in every county in the state that produce things that people would enjoy having for Christmas. And in addition to food products, there are a lot of farm products. There are Kentucky Proud Christmas trees where you can go out and cut your own. We have 12 Christmas tree farms scattered across the state.
Okay.
There are a lot of arts and crafts that are Kentucky Proud. So there are a lot of things that you could buy that are Kentucky Proud. And again, when you purchase something Kentucky Proud, you're keeping your dollars in your local community, and that's a win-win situation for everyone.
That's exactly right. And you mentioned the Christmas tree, like I guess different crafts like wreaths and stuff. Right. And how do people know which farms or which businesses are Kentucky Proud to purchase these things from?
We've updated our website. Also have Kentucky Proud poinsettias all over at our nurseries and stuff all across the state. But we have a new website, and it's the Kentucky Proud website. We have updated our search engine, so you can Google Kentucky Proud, and you'll get a lot of information on our new website, which tells if you live in Rockcastle County or Laurel County, you can enter that in there in the county listing, and it'll show all the Kentucky Proud businesses in the area.
Okay.
If you're looking for Christmas trees or poinsettias or any type of country ham or anything like that that's Kentucky Proud, you can put that in there, and it'll pop up all the different Kentucky Proud businesses and farms all across the state. And if they have a website, you can click on their website and purchase something online, or you can go visit their place of business.
Okay, and that's the same for produce and stuff as well. It's labeled.
Absolutely. Our everything, whether it's a meat product, a vegetable, a fruit, whether it's something that was grown in a nursery or whatever, an art and craft, it's all Kentucky Proud. And on our website, our brand new website, it will list that on there.
Okay, good deal. Now we're going to jump to a different topic real quick. The industrial hemp pilot projects that happened in the spring, and you all spearhead these events, and it worked with colleges and universities for a research thing and used different seeds at certain spots and different techniques. And go ahead and give us how that option worked. And also, is the data back from that research projects yet?
Yeah, the universities are compiling the data that we'll publish here pretty soon, but the bottom line is it was very successful research year last year. Last year was the first year in 60 years where Kentucky farmers and universities could grow industrial hemp. So we've reintroduced the crop back to the state.
Yeah.
It's not a drug, and we tested all the different plants at the different sites across the state. None of the hemp had any THC.
Okay.
So it was not a drug, and that was one of the arguments when people were fighting with me over whether or not to allow this to be a reality in the state. Some people were saying, "Oh, well, it'll be like its evil cousin. It'll be you can't tell the difference," and you can tell the difference. You can tell the difference between hemp and marijuana, and the hemp doesn't have any of the THC in it that has the hallucinogenic effect. But what you have with hemp is a crop that Kentucky farmers can grow, and it's a crop that when it's processed, you can make anything you make out of trees or plastic.
Okay.
So it's going to be a hit in the furniture industry. It's going to be a hit in the automotive industry. It's with the seeds you're using cosmetics and lotions and protein. So when I look 10 years down the road at Kentucky agriculture, I can see industrial hemp as a very viable crop in the state that has a significant economic impact because it's a crop that small farmers can grow. You could grow it in Rockcastle County or Jackson County or some of these other counties on marginal land.
Yeah.
You know, the land here is like the land on my farm in Monroe County. It's not like the good land in western Kentucky on the
good flat
Ohio
land.
River that's got the real dark soil. So we're limited as to our competitiveness and our profitability with growing corn and soybeans. So since tobacco has kind of transitioned away from this area, we've been desperate as farmers to find an alternative crop. And I don't know that industrial hemp will ever replace tobacco, but I can tell you this, that industrial hemp is something that small farmers can grow. It's easy to grow. And if you look ahead to the future, it's a crop of the future where more and more of the products you buy, your clothes, the paper that you do your homework on, the parts in the automotive industry, more and more things are going to be produced from industrial hemp fiber. Yeah. So I think that as of today, because of our efforts here in Kentucky, we're the leading state in the nation in industrial hemp production. And as a result, we're going to create new manufacturing jobs, good paying jobs for people in small towns to be able to go to work and get some good pay and good benefits, and a new market for our farmers to be able to grow crops.
Okay, good deal. Now, and also, I read on the internet where y'all fixing to start the 2015 hemp pilot projects. Now, is that going to be operated in a different way, or are y'all going to research different techniques compared to 2014? Or
yeah, the one big difference is we have now companies that have come into Kentucky. They've made an investment in the state. They're hiring people. Okay. And they're signing contracts with farmers. So one of the other arguments that some of the critics made about industrial hemp was, well, there's no market to sell it. Well, there wasn't supposed to. The first year it was about research, and there was a small crop to let the universities research it to determine which variety of seeds grow best on which types of soils and what types of equipment you can use to harvest it. Now, in a rapid period of time, we've established markets, and these new companies are coming into Kentucky. So what if there's anyone interested in growing hemp next year, they contact the Department of Agriculture, and we try to steer them towards a different company, because I don't want any farmer to grow a crop that they can't sell. The problem is today in this area, the processors are locating in that central Kentucky area. We have I know a few farmers in Garrett County that have signed contracts, but that's about as far south as they've gotten. They're in that Shelbyville, Winchester, Georgetown area right now, but I hope to get the processors spread out all over the state. This is when I pushed to pass this legislation along with Senator Paul and Congressman Massey, I said this is going to be a 5 to 10 year long-term project. So I look back, and after one short year, we've accomplished a lot with industrial hemp. And the moral of the story with this issue is you can pass legislation. Yeah. Even though we have a Democrat House, a Republican Senate, and we have a split Congress in Washington. We passed a bill in Frankfort and in Washington, and it was controversial in the beginning. But today, I don't think you'll hear any critic say anything negative about it, because we've proven it's economically viable, and it's another tool in the toolbox for our farmers.
So pretty much the 2015 projects will be similar to 2014, except instead of the universities, more to be with the producers and manufacturers, kind of tying them in.
Right, and the producers still have to communicate with the universities, because there's still a lot of research. You know, here we've been growing corn and tobacco and soybeans in Kentucky for a century, and we still do research with the universities on new varieties of seed and new types of fertilizers and pesticides and things like that. So there will still be a lot of communication back and forth between the farmers, between the processors, and the universities to make sure that we're learning more about this crop, because it's going to take several years to iron out the kinks as far as from a farmer standpoint. How do we get the best yield, and when's the best time to plant the crop, and when's the best time to harvest the crop.
Okay, and real quick too, when's the deadline that the manufacturers and producers, farmers can apply for 2015?
I think it's through February.
Okay.
In our office, so we've gotten a lot of applications. Honestly, we've gotten more applications than there'll probably ever be markets for this year, but it shows the demand from our farmers to find a new alternative crop to grow. What's bad is when you have farm families struggling to stay on the farm in this state, and they can't. Their farm's not big enough, their land's not fertile enough to where they can grow a traditional crop. So they're desperate to find something to keep the family farm in the family name, and that's why I fought so hard for industrial hemp, and I think that we can look back and say today that was a fight worth fighting.
Okay, and we're going to jump real quick too before we go. And you announced that you were running for governor at the Fancy Farm Picnic. Now, what are the main issues that you're going to make your top priority if you are elected governor of Kentucky?
Well, we have to create some jobs in the state, and you just look around in this area, the Rockcastle, Laurel, Jackson, Garrett, Lincoln, all the counties in this area. You see, we have a situation to where these communities have had a hard time attracting investment into these areas. So many of our best and brightest young people, and it's the same situation in Monroe County, where I'm from, have had to, once they graduate from high school, move off somewhere to get a job and further their education, and then many of them don't come back. I want to reverse that trend. We have to be able to attract investment into these rural communities across the state, and we have to change the business climate in Kentucky to where we can attract good paying jobs to the state. So the number one priority for me as the next governor is to create good paying jobs, not just create jobs. You hear candidates say jobs, jobs, jobs. Well, we've got a situation where there have been jobs created in Kentucky, but they aren't good paying jobs. They don't pay a living wage, but yet you have the governor cutting ribbons on these industries that they've given incentives to that don't pay good wages. We have to focus on not just creating jobs, but good paying jobs, the kind of jobs that can take people out of poverty, the kind of jobs that can allow this next generation of Kentuckians to be able to have the same opportunities that I had and that my parents and grandparents had in this state. Until we change the business climate in the state, we're not going to be able to do that. So I'm going to focus on creating good paying jobs in the state. We're going to focus on things like workforce development in the state, and just simply paying attention to the rural communities in the state that have been forgotten and left behind. I see a lot of potential in Rockcastle County. I'm excited about what you have here, and I want to work with everyone in the community to try to grow the economy here.
Well, we'd have a lot more to talk about, but there's a short amount of time. You got to get on up to the Limestone Grill, I think. So
yes, sir.
We're going to go ahead and go, and I appreciate you coming in and talking with us and giving your insight on your ideas and projects you're doing as Agriculture Commissioner as well.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right, thank you. You've been listening to WKUR 94.9, and thank you, and have a good day.